future. And this is why the Climate Pledge is so important. It's not just about one company's climate commitments. This is about working together to build a collective future. To win, you need everyone focused on the same goal, bringing their own talents and taking action. And that's exactly what the Climate Pledge is all about. It's an opportunity to work together as a team to tackle the world's greatest crisis, the climate crisis. The Climate Pledge was co-founded by Amazon and Global Optimism, an organization led by Christiana Figueres, former UN climate chief, and Tom Rivett-Carnac, a political strategist. Working with these two, I know they know the power of collaboration better than most, as they were the key architects of the Paris Climate Agreement in 2015. The pledge itself was inspired by this collective spirit of the Paris Agreement, but also driven by the latest science, which tells us that Paris is not enough. We need to be net zero carbon by 2040. And at the highest level, signatories to the pledge commit to this net zero carbon by 2040 and agree to do three important things: measure and report emissions on a regular basis, to implement decarbonization strategies through real business changes and innovations, and finally, to neutralize any remaining emissions with additional, quantifiable, real and permanent, and socially beneficial offsets to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2040. The Climate Pledge offers companies with an opportunity to join a community of leading businesses, all committed to transformational action that can protect the global economy from the disruptive risks associated with climate change. The Climate Pledge is ambitious because ambition is exactly what the world needs right now. The Climate Pledge demands action. Let's consider our work at Amazon. We're incredibly complex, and we don't just move information around. We have many different businesses and services. We have extensive physical infrastructure, and we deliver more than 10 billion items worldwide a year. And while we have a vision and a strategy for how we'll get to net zero carbon by 2040, we don't see progress to the finish as just a straight line. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There's still a lot of inventing and embracing the unknown that needs to happen, and we need to get comfortable with that fast if we're going to solve this together. Over the last 5 years, we've built a team of climate scientists, and this team has combined cutting-edge life cycle assessment science with AWS big data technology to develop a software solution that processes millions of operational and financial records to calculate our carbon footprint. It's one of the most sophisticated carbon accounting systems in the world, and it empowers our science-based targets to reduce emissions. We track carbon to the shipment level so that we can target our emissions reductions efforts as precisely as possible. And we're measuring all of this in real time so that we can take action in real time. We've also invented machine learning algorithms to help us make the smartest packaging choices for customer orders, and that can mean less unnecessary packaging, which we all love. But no matter how much we invent and innovate over the next 20 years, we know we can't do it alone. So if we're going to be net zero carbon by 2040, we need everyone else on the journey with us too. Take, for instance, transportation, one of Amazon's most carbon-intensive areas. To reach net zero carbon, we're working hard to make sure all of our transportation operations are as sustainable as possible. And this means thinking differently, upending the current system, rethinking the way we're looking at first, middle, and last mile while building a sustainable infrastructure for the long term. Last year, Amazon placed the largest ever order of electric delivery vehicles, 100,000 vehicles from Rivian. These will begin deploying in 2021. And this investment to scale electrification is just one piece of the puzzle in upending that current system. This is also one of the reasons we were so thrilled when Mercedes-Benz joined as a signatory to the pledge. So we've already started to work together, and Amazon recently ordered 1,800 electric vans from Mercedes-Benz in Europe, their largest order of electric vehicles. So together, we're starting to drive that important systemic change. And that is the collective power of the pledge. Collective change has never been more important than it is right now. The change we drive now impacts generations. So how are we going to do it? When I talk to other companies, including pledge signatories, we all recognize there's a massive need to advance the development of technologies to get to net zero carbon. Things like transportation, energy generation storage, construction materials, and manufacturing. We must invest and deploy technologies that haven't even been invented yet. We have to build the future that we need. We believe in the Climate Pledge because it's built on the premise of collective, collaborative action towards a bold goal. We can't reach net zero carbon alone. It has to be done by all of us. Verizon, Best Buy, Siemens, and many more have all joined the pledge, and we need all of you here today to join us too. It is time to go. All of us need to contribute. We are building a future with greener cities, clean air, efficient and clean transportation, and an abundance of flourishing nature to keep the world healthier and safer. We're building the future we all want for our children and their children. Wherever you're sitting right now, whatever you are working on, if you have solutions, we want you to join this team because we're united behind this vision for a better future. And this is a future we get to create together. Thank you so much for having us today. We look forward to working with you.